Welcome to my channel Old Valuable Coins DI. You know this, the worth of 5-cent millions of dollars. Today the 1974 United States 5-cent coin, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel, is one of the most interesting coins for collectors, beginners, and enthusiasts who study American coins. In this video, we are going to explore everything about the 1974 nickel, including its history, composition, mintage, design details, errors, varieties, and the factors that make certain 1974 nickels desirable and valuable today. This entire discussion is dedicated to helping you understand how to identify a potentially valuable 1974 nickel and why this coin remains important for collectors across the world. So let's begin our deep dive into the 1974 5-cent coin. The Jefferson nickel design had already been in circulation for many decades by the time the 1974 nickel was made. The coin features the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by Felix Schlag. His initials, FS, were later added in later years, but the 1974 version maintains the classic look with Jefferson's profile, the word liberty, the date 1974, and the motto "In God We Trust." On the reverse side, the coin displays Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, with the words E pluribus unum, the building's name, the denomination 5 cents, and United States of America. This design had been used since 1938 and is one of the most iconic coin designs in American history. The 1974 nickel was struck at two major United States mint locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia mint struck coins without a mint mark, while the Denver mint struck coins with the small D mint mark on the obverse, to the right of Jefferson's portrait. A third mint, the San Francisco mint, did not strike regular circulation nickels in 1974, though it did produce proof coins in other years. The absence of an S mint mark on 1974 nickels confirms that all business strikes came from Philadelphia or Denver. One thing collectors love about the 1974 nickel is that it was made of the classic composition that the Jefferson nickel has used since 1866, except during wartime years. The metal composition is 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin weighs 5 grams, has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and a plain edge. This consistent composition means that finding well-preserved 1974 nickels can be exciting because the coin's surface and luster can appear quite beautiful when stored properly or found in mint state condition. The mintage numbers for 1974 are very high, because the nickel was a major workhorse coin used in everyday transactions across the United States. At the Philadelphia Mint, hundreds of millions of nickels were struck, and at the Denver Mint even more were produced. This means that most 1974 nickels found in circulation today will not be rare in lower condition. However, even with a high mintage, certain examples from this year can carry a premium, especially those with sharp strikes, clean surfaces, or certain rare minting errors that collectors look for. Collectors often search for 1974 nickels that still show full details on both Jefferson's hair and on the steps of Monticello. These are known as full steps nickels. Full steps coins are strongly struck examples where the steps of Monticello are fully separated and visible, a sign of a high-quality strike. While not every 1974 nickel will display this feature, those that do can be more desirable among collectors. Full steps nickels tend to be more difficult to find in circulation because small wear on the coin quickly removes the crisp step details. That's why uncirculated examples or coins found in old rolls and collections are more likely to show full steps. Another topic that collectors love exploring is mint errors. Some error nickels from 1974 can be incredibly valuable depending on the type of mistake made during the minting process. Errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double strikes, die cracks, die breaks, die clashes, and even improperly annealed planchets can all appear on nickels from this year. Off-center examples are easy to notice because the design is visibly shifted. A large off-center strike with clear date is always desirable. A clipped planchet happens when a piece of the coin's edge is missing due to a misfeed in the blanking machine. Double-struck coins show repeated impressions of the design. Die cracks and die breaks appear as raised lines on the coin, while die clashes create ghost-like impressions from the opposite die. All of these errors make the coin unique and collectible. Other collectible varieties may include over-polished dies, filled dies where certain letters or digits appear missing, or coins with unusually strong or weak strikes. Though such varieties are not extremely common, they are asked for by collectors who enjoy searching through rolls, bags, and old jars of coins. When evaluating the condition of a 1974 nickel, collectors look for several key factors. The first is the overall sharpness of the details in Jefferson's hair, eye, cheekbone, and jawline. Any signs of heavy circulation can dull these details, making the coin worth only face value. Second, the brightness and luster of the coin matter. A nickel that still shines and shows its original mint luster will stand out compared to one that is dull or darkened from use. Third, the reverse design must be checked carefully. A 1974 nickel with crisp details on Monticello, clean fields, and visible steps has a much better chance of being valuable. Scratches, dents, and discoloration can reduce desirability. Because 1974 nickels were used so heavily in circulation, finding high-grade examples today is not as easy as some people think. Many collectors enjoy searching through coin rolls for this reason. Roll hunting for nickels has remained a popular hobby because the nickel series is known for offering occasional surprises, from older Jefferson nickels to wartime silver nickels, buffalo nickels, and even rare era coins. The 1974 nickel fits well into this mix because while it is common, it has the potential to reveal some attractive mint state pieces or unexpected varieties. For collectors who enjoy studying American coin history, the 1974 nickel represents a period when the United States Mint was producing huge quantities of coins to meet the growing economy. The design had already become a classic, and the country's coinage system was stable. Even though the coin does not contain silver or gold, its historical and nostalgic value keeps it popular among collectors, especially those who enjoy assembling complete date and mint mark sets of Jefferson nickels. The story of the 1974 nickel is more than just its physical details. It also connects to the long-standing image of Thomas Jefferson, one of America's most influential founding fathers. His presence on the nickel has been a symbol of American heritage for generations. Monticello itself, featured on the reverse, is an architectural masterpiece and a reminder of early American history. For many collectors, owning coins that carry these images creates a connection to the past. First up, let's begin with the basics. The 1975 D 5-cent coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small d mint mark located on the right side of Monticello on the reverse of the coin. In 1975, the United States Mint produced millions of these Jefferson nickels, continuing the long-running series that began in 1938. Even though these coins were created in large quantities, finding well-preserved examples today is more challenging than many people think. That's because nickels circulate heavily, and over the years they pick up scratches, wear, and dullness that affect their appearance. This makes the search for a sharp, clean, well-detailed 1975 D nickel more interesting for collectors. The design of the coin is iconic. On the obverse, you'll see the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This portrait, designed by Felix Schlag, has been a defining feature of the nickel for decades. The inscriptions include "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and, of course, the date 1975. On the reverse is Jefferson's home, Monticello, an elegant structure with great architectural detail. The inscriptions include E Pluribus Unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. These design elements make the Jefferson nickel instantly recognizable, yet every year and every mint mark has its own story. Now let's talk about the significance of the 1975 D 5-cent coin. Even though it is not considered a rare coin in circulation, it remains highly collectible for several reasons. First, it represents the mid-1970s era of American coinage, a time when the country was adapting to economic changes, rising metal costs, and evolving minting technologies. Many collectors aim to complete full date and mint mark sets, and the 1975 D nickel is an essential piece in that journey. Its production run was large, but surviving examples with strong details, clean fields, and attractive eye appeal are less common than many assume. Another reason collectors appreciate this coin is the potential for interesting varieties or striking anomalies. While the 1975 D nickel does not have well-known major varieties like double dies or dramatic mint errors, some coins can still show minor die cracks, over-polishing marks, or slightly off-center strikes. These small variations can make a coin unique, and collectors who enjoy searching through rolls or boxes of nickels often look specifically for these 1975 D examples. It's also important to understand the metal composition of the 1975 D nickel. Like all standard Jefferson nickels minted after World War II, it is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This composition gives the coin its classic silver-gray color and durability. Because it contains no silver, most of its collector value is based on condition, demand, and specific attributes rather than precious metal content. When holding a 1975 D nickel, observe the details closely. Look at Jefferson's hair, cheekbone, and jawline. Sharper details indicate a stronger strike from the mint. On the reverse, check the steps of Monticello. Even though not every coin shows full crisp steps due to the way the dies were prepared that year, coins with more visible steps tend to be more desirable to collectors who appreciate well-struck examples. Many people enjoy the challenge of finding a 1975 D nickel with excellent detail, as these are often harder to locate than expected. Let's explore the historical context. The year 1975 was an interesting time in American history. It was a period of transition, with the US celebrating its bicentennial era, adjusting to economic shifts, and continuing to develop modern coin minting processes. Coins from this era capture the everyday economy of the American people, and nickels especially were widely used in commerce. The 1975 D. Jefferson nickel circulated heavily, meaning coins were handled frequently in stores, banks, gas stations, and more. Because of this, a coin that survived in clean, sharp condition tells a story of preservation and luck. Even though millions were minted, collectors place value on coins that stand out. A 1975 D 5-cent coin with strong luster, minimal marks, and clear details can become a highlight of a collection. Many people who collect Jefferson nickels focus on finding the best examples they can, even for common years, because condition makes a big difference in long-term desirability. Another aspect that makes the 1975 D nickel interesting is how accessible it is to new collectors. This coin offers an entry point into coin collecting without needing large budgets. Anyone can start examining nickels, learning about mint marks, studying details of Monticello, and comparing coins from different years. The 1975 D nickel encourages curiosity, making it a great educational piece whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector. Collectors also enjoy searching for possible mint-made anomalies or minor errors. For example, die cracks can appear as raised lines on the coin surface, usually caused by stress in the die. Die polishing lines can appear as thin lines across the fields, and slightly off-center strikes occur when the coin is not perfectly aligned during stamping. While these minor features do not always add dramatic value, they do make individual coins more interesting and can appeal to those who enjoy variety collecting. Another point to consider is the natural toning that some nickels develop over time. Exposure to air, humidity, and storage conditions can create soft golden, blue, or gray tones on the surfaces. Some collectors appreciate this natural toning, as it adds character and uniqueness. Toned 1975 D nickels can attract attention because no two-toned coins look exactly the same. Let's take a moment to appreciate the longevity of the Jefferson nickel series. Introduced in 1938 and still circulating today, it is one of America's longest-running coin designs. The 1975 D issue is part of that long story, marking a point in the middle of the series that connects the past and present. The design stayed consistent for decades, which means each date tells a piece of American history through a familiar and trusted coin. Collectors who examine coins closely often talk about eye appeal, meaning how attractive a coin looks overall. A 1975 D nickel with bright surfaces, sharp details, and minimal marks will have strong eye appeal and stand out from the rest. Even though these nickels circulated heavily, some examples were set aside early by collectors or simply avoided where through good luck. Finding these well-preserved coins is part of what keeps the hobby rewarding. Another factor that makes this coin valuable to collectors is its ability to connect generations. Many people remember handling nickels as children, using them in vending machines, paying for snacks, or saving coins in jars. For some, the 1975 D nickel brings back memories of childhood or moments in American culture. This nostalgic value plays a role in why people continue to seek out coins from the 1970s. As we explore further, keep in mind that the value of a coin is influenced by demand, desirability, condition, and any unique features it may have. While the 1975 D 5-cent coin is widely available, the interest it generates is real and consistent. People who collect by year, by mint, or by series all include the 1975 D nickel in their collections, which keeps it relevant and important. Next up, the 1987 D 5-cent coin is part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series, a series that began in 1938 and continues to this day. The obverse of the 1987 D nickel features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. The design includes the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1987, along with the D mint mark for the Denver Mint. The reverse of the coin features the iconic image of Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia. The inscriptions include "E pluribus unum," United States of America, Monticello, and the denomination 5 cents. This classic design by Felix Schlag remains one of the most recognizable in U.S. coin history. The 1987 D nickel was produced at the Denver Mint, which is known for high-volume coin production. Millions of these coins were minted for circulation, making them widely available today. Even though the mintage is high, collectors still take interest in this coin because certain examples can show unique characteristics, strong strikes, sharp details, and certain mint errors that make them more appealing. When people search for information about Jefferson nickels, they often want details about the metal composition, which for the 1987 D 5-cent coin is a cupra-nickel blend consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Even though most 1987 D nickels are common, some can attract collector attention based on condition, strike quality, and any unique features. For example, coins with exceptionally strong strikes, fully defined steps on Monticello, or unusual die characteristics can be more desirable. The overall look of the coin, including luster, clarity of details, and the absence of wear marks, can make a difference when collectors evaluate the piece. Another topic that attracts a lot of interest is mint errors. Error coins from this year may include off-center strikes, die cracks, misaligned dies, clipped planches, and other production mistakes that occurred during the minting process. These error types can make an ordinary nickel far more collectible. For example, an off-center 1987 D nickel or a coin struck on a defective planchet may draw much more attention than a standard circulation strike. Collectors actively search their pocket change, coin rolls, and old jars hoping to find one of these interesting varieties. When discussing the 1987 D 5-cent coin, it's also important to understand how it fits into the broader timeline of the Jefferson nickel series. The 1980s were a period of steady coin production, with consistent demand for circulating currency. The Denver Mint produced strong numbers throughout the decade, and the 1987 D nickel remains one of the widely recognized coins from this era. Many collectors assemble full year-by-year sets, so the 1987 D plays a role in completing Jefferson nickel collections. Collectors also examine the fine details of Monticello on the reverse. Sharp, crisp steps on the staircase of Monticello can indicate a well-struck coin. While these details may not always be fully visible on most circulation examples, some coins stand out due to strong dies and careful minting conditions. Collectors enjoy searching for coins with clear architectural lines, strong lettering, and clean surfaces. In addition to its physical characteristics, the 1987 D nickel holds historical interest. The mid-1980s were a time of economic and political shifts in the United States, with significant advancements in technology and growing changes within the U.S. mint's production efficiency. Coins from this period reflect the modernization of minting processes and improved quality control, although errors still occurred and continue to attract collectors today. Holding a coin from 1987 is holding a small piece of American history from a transformative era. Many people enjoy collecting nickels because they remain affordable, accessible, and fun to search for. The Jefferson nickel series is particularly popular with beginners because it offers many years, mint marks, and varieties to explore, without requiring expensive investments. The 1987 D nickel fits perfectly into this approach, providing an opportunity to learn about minting, design, and characteristics of U.S. coinage. When individuals look for coins from the 1980s, they often look for condition, rarity among error types, and attractive examples with strong eye appeal. Even common coins like the 1987 D 5-cent piece can be appreciated for their design, historical connection, and place within the series. Searching rolls can still uncover clean and lustrous examples from this year, making it a favorite among hobbyists who enjoy coin roll hunting. The demand for Jefferson nickels continues to grow among collectors who enjoy studying metal composition, weight, diameter, and mint history. The 1987 D nickel weighs 5 grams and measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter, maintaining the standard specifications used for decades. These consistent details make it easier for collectors to compare coins from different years and spot unusual characteristics. In today's collecting world, educational videos like this one help hobbyists understand what to look for when examining their coins. The 1987 D nickel offers plenty of learning opportunities, from design study to error identification. If you're checking your coins, pay attention to areas like Jefferson's cheek, hair, and jawline on the obverse, or the roof, pillars, and steps of Monticello on the reverse. These areas often reveal whether a coin was strongly or weakly struck. Another reason collectors enjoy this coin is the nostalgia connected to circulating coins from the 1980s. Many people remember using nickels from these years in vending machines, stores, arcades, and everyday life. Today, These coins remind us of earlier decades while still being accessible, since many remain in circulation. The 1987 D nickel is a great example of a modern US coin that connects generations. Whether you are building a complete Jefferson nickel set, studying mint history, or simply appreciating classic American coinage, the 1987 D 5-cent coin remains an interesting piece. Its familiar design, availability, and connection to US history make it a valuable part of numismatic study. Collectors continue to search for the cleanest, most attractive examples and keep an eye out for unusual mint errors that make certain coins stand out. As we wrap up this long and detailed discussion about the 1987 D nickel, remember that even common coins can hold great interest when you learn their stories, study their features, and explore their place in American history. Coins like the 1987 D 5-cent piece remind us that numismatics is a hobby of discovery, patience, and curiosity. If you enjoy learning about US coins, make sure to explore other dates and mint marks in the Jefferson nickel series as well, because each one has something unique to offer. Now we will explore the 2002 P nickel is part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series that began in 1938. By 2002, the classic Monticello reverse design had already been in circulation for more than 6 decades. Collectors appreciate the early 2000s nickels because they represent the final years of the original design before the United States Mint introduced the Westward Journey nickel series in 2004. That means the 2002 P is one of the last nickels to feature the traditional left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse paired with the long-established Monticello building on the reverse. This makes the 2002 P nickel a nostalgic piece of American coinage, marking the end of an era. Even though the 2002 P was made for everyday circulation, collectors pay close attention to these coins because the early 2000s had noticeable variations in strike quality. Some coins were struck sharply with clean details on Jefferson's hair, cheekbone, and jawline, while others show weaker, softer design elements due to worn dies or slightly misaligned presses. That means if you're searching through pocket change or coin rolls, certain 2002 P nickels will immediately stand out because of their clarity and strong detail. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins in 2002, which means they are easy to find, but finding them in excellent condition is much tougher. Most nickels go through years of circulation, resulting in scratches, dull surfaces, worn features, and signs of heavy use. That's why collectors look for 2002 P nickels with bright luster, clean fields, sharp rims, and strong strike detail. These higher quality coins can be much more desirable than typical circulated pieces. If you find a beautifully preserved 2002 P nickel with a strong shine and minimal marks, it immediately becomes more interesting for collectors who want premium examples of modern US coins. Aside from overall condition, the 2002 P nickel is known among collectors for several small die varieties and minting anomalies that can increase a coin's desirability. These include minor die cracks, die chips, die clashes, and slightly rotated die strikes. Even a tiny die chip on Jefferson's eye or around the Monticello steps can make a coin more appealing to collectors who enjoy unique pieces. Some 2002 P nickels also show what collectors often refer to as filled letters, where parts of inscriptions like Liberty, 5 cents, or United States of America appear thick or slightly distorted. These are the result of die wear and can create subtle but interesting variations. Another detail collectors watch for is the steps on Monticello. On many nickels, the steps appear weak, incomplete, or worn, but on a few well-struck examples, the steps appear sharper and more defined. These stronger strikes make the coin stand out because they show how crisp the mint's dies were when the coin was produced. While this is not a rare feature, it's something collectors appreciate when comparing different nickels from the same year and mint. The metal composition of the 2002 P nickel is the same classic alloy used for most modern 5-cent coins, 75% copper and 25% nickel. This gives the coin its familiar silvery appearance and durability. The weight is 5 grams, and the diameter is 21.2 millimeters. These specifications have remained mostly unchanged since the Jefferson nickel series began. Even though the metal value of the coin is low, its collectible appeal comes from its design, condition, and small variations rather than the metal content. The obverse design created by Felix Schlag remains one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage. Jefferson's portrait is bold and iconic, offering collectors a sense of continuity across decades of minting. On the reverse, the Monticello design continues to symbolize American history and architecture. Many collectors enjoy comparing the details of the 2002 P nickel with earlier or later years to study changes in die condition, wear, and strike quality. Searching for 2002p nickels can be an enjoyable and rewarding hobby. You can look through banks, coin rolls, old jars, estate sales, or collections passed down through families. Even if most of the coins you find are heavily circulated, there's always the chance of discovering one with a strong strike, unique die chip, sharp Monticello steps, or beautiful mint luster. Each discovery adds to the excitement of coin collecting. The 2002p nickel also appeals to collectors who enjoy building year-by-year or mint-by-mint sets. Since the 2002p is one of the closing years of the classic design, it fits attractively into a complete Jefferson nickel collection. Many collectors enjoy documenting small differences between coins, comparing strike strength, studying die wear, and building sets that capture the full story of this long-running American coin series. Another interesting aspect of the 2002p nickel is how it has aged over time. Some have developed natural toning, which can include shades of gold, blue, lavender, or even darker hues depending on storage conditions. Attractive toning can make a coin visually unique and often more appealing to collectors who enjoy toning patterns. Not all toning is desirable, of course. Dark spots, corrosion, or discoloration from improper storage will lower a coin's appeal. But vibrant, natural colors can make a 2002p nickel stand out. Coin enthusiasts also appreciate modern nickels because they offer a glimpse into America's economic history. In 2002, the United States was in a period of economic transition, and coins from this era capture the everyday commerce of the early 2000s. Holding a 2002p nickel is like holding a small piece of modern history, a snapshot of life during the early years of the 21st century. Collectors and hobbyists often enjoy discussing their finds with others, sharing images, stories, and discoveries. The 2002p nickel remains a popular topic in coin collecting communities because it's accessible, inexpensive to search for, and still offers the potential for interesting varieties and high-quality examples. It's a perfect coin for new collectors who want to start a hobby without spending a lot, and it's equally appealing to experienced collectors who enjoy searching for the best examples of modern coins. As you explore your own collection or begin searching coin rolls, pay attention to details like luster, strike strength, rim condition, Monticello steps, lettering clarity, and natural toning. These small details can help you identify coins that are more desirable or valuable to collectors. Even though most 2002p nickels are worth face value, a beautifully preserved example with eye-catching details can be much more appealing. The Jefferson nickel series continues to be a favorite among collectors because it tells a long story of American history, artistic design evolution, and minting technology. The 2002p nickel plays an important role in that story as one of the final issues before major design changes arrived. That alone makes it an interesting part of any modern US coin collection.